Hey, Garrett with CSI again. Today we're going to tell you how to set your gas pressure and the do's and don'ts when doing that. So the first thing you'll need is an inflation tool of some sort. We sell one, some other brands sell one. They're fairly universal. You can get ours off our website if you need one. First step is to take that cap off. Make sure the T-handle on your tool is backed all the way off counterclockwise. Screw that on the shock. I prefer just to tighten this by hand. There's a copper crush washer in there, and if you get it too tight with a wrench, that thing won't want to seal. So I just kind of use the tool as leverage to tighten it, and then you'll screw that T-handle in to get a reading. It is important to set your gas pressure with the shock fully extended. You can see as we compress it, that pressure goes up. So if you just had it on the race car and you set it, it might give you a false reading. So you want that shock fully extended. Add or remove nitrogen at this point with the gauge on the shock. Obviously adding by just charging the Schrader valve, remove by fingernail or a little screwdriver to let gas out. Once that's done, back the T-handle off and screw the gauge off your shock. If you did use a wrench to tighten that because maybe the crush washers wore out on your gauge and you got the gauge too tight and it spun the Schrader valve out, the Schrader valve housing out, that's not the end of the world. This is a 9mm hex. You can get that back out of your tool, screw it back in, and just start the process over. Again, that's a 9mm hex. When you do take the gauge off, you will hear a little tss of nitrogen. That's okay. That's just what was in the gauge. Totally normal. Don't be alarmed there. As long as your T-handle was backed out when you took the tool off, you're in good shape, and that thing is set, ready to go. You should set the gas pressure every race day. So just same as you're going to check your air pressure every time you go on the track. You don't need to check your shocks every time you go on the track, but every race day it should be set so you know where it is, and then you can add or remove throughout the night depending on track conditions.